OOB Plus studio. Welcome in. We love you. Thanks for hanging out with us. What a football season. Ole Miss in line to have their most magical season in the history of their program. One loss at Georgia. That's it. They'll be favored in all their games. I think they've been favored in all their games except Georgia, right? No, Oklahoma was the weird one, right? That was a weird line where we were like, why is the line like that? That didn't make any sense. Of course, Ole Miss won and won big. So Citadel, Florida, and at Mississippi State, they go back-to-back home games even after their last, so 3 in a row here, counting last weekend. And both teams will host teams this weekend, but Mississippi State, it's an SEC game. I had an Ole Miss fan on the Golden Moon Casino text line that said, I was absolutely crazy to even discuss if Mississippi State could play with Georgia. And then I asked Tom Luganbill, this was yesterday, then I asked Tom Luganbill, who has no dog in the hunt. Obviously, I'm a homer. And I asked Tom Luganbill, who has no dog in the hunt.
By the way, I'm a fan.
And he said, absolutely, the game could be within a score in the fourth quarter. Now, Georgia could be up multiple scores in the fourth quarter. So we will see what shakes out and plays out this weekend. 11 a.m. game, though. It's one of those early ones. Right after game day, you're on ESPN. And I think if you lose last weekend, you lose a lot of the crowd. But because you won, I think people are going to show up.
You're back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that fine a line. And we're about to drop some John Cohen audio on his press conference yesterday talking about Hugh Freeze. It's just that the line is right there. I mean, right there on whether people are happy and engaged or checking out. I mean, Ole Miss is going on the biggest run they've ever had in the history of their school. But over my 22 years, we've had both teams have their fan bases check out and go hang out at the hunting camp and the beach and the farm and whatever, their back patio. And then we've had just insane runs of the stadium being full.
Yeah.
And so Ole Miss plays the Citadel this weekend. Lane's really, and we got some Kiffin audio too on squirrel hunting, but which is kind of funny. Lane's obviously not a hunter, so he's not going to be hanging out with all the Ole Miss people that hunt in the Delta or wherever. But he's trying to get people there for their game against the Citadel where they're going to win 63-3. And I get it. I mean, he still wants and I think that's a noon kick. So we're going early. So Mississippi State is 11 a.m. on ESPN right after game day. And Ole Miss is on SEC Network Plus at noon.
Okay.
And you know what? It looks to me like the weather's going to be pretty amazing, which could be cool for everybody, especially with what all we have to endure in September. Holy Mary Olzeb. What is that? It looks good in Starkville and Oxford. Wow. Fantastic. Well, it's going to be a little chilly on campus. You get out there early and you get some cheese grits with that Mississippi State jalapeno cheese, and you do a Tito's vodka Bloody Mary with bacon.
Get you a space heater out there?
Yeah, well, you could. I mean, we've had those at the tail. I mean, I retired from tailgating, but we've had those.
Right.
I mean, I didn't bring them out there, but somebody did. I'm a check writer. I'm not doing all that. But I still have friends that like set up. I'm like, bro.
For what?
I set up when I was 26. And I'm not setting up now. So I'll set up at Two Brothers right at that bar.
Yeah.
Say hey to Barton. Get me a Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary and get some of those, whatever they are, those pimento cheese balls. Oh, God, they're so good. Ella Hall loves them. So anyway, I don't know where I went with that, but
Lane,
did I just do 5 minutes of epic sports talk radio?
It was Lane squirrel hunting.
Oh, yeah, Lane squirrel hunting.
Could never see that.
He didn't reference. Did he I don't know if he referenced deer or duck, but his guys are locked in on deer, and then everybody's jonesing for a couple weeks from now. And we're gonna get you out. I want you out there on a morning where it's about 8 degrees. I'll get my buddy Scott Bates to take you duck hunting. Okay,
duck hunting. Yeah, right.
We'll do a show from his house, and you go out there, and we'll pick one of those days where it's going to be about 11. And think about it, you're in the Mississippi Delta.
No,
that wind's coming through.
No,
yeah,
no,
and they'll get you in a duck blind, and you'll be ready to roll, man.
I just don't see this happening.
Is anybody going to invite Jackson duck hunting this year? Or deer, but duck. I think duck, it could work for him because you're shooting a lot, and you don't have to be. I mean, we can't put him in a stand and wait on a damn deer. That's not going to happen.
Oh, no.
Okay, so the Golden Moon Casino text line is 601-885-3776.
By the way, I'm a fan.
Whoa.
Waiting on a deer.
Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm drunk.
What?
No way.
What?
There's no way I could wait on a deer.
Mm-mm. But duck hunting, like dove hunting, you're 80. It can fit your personality.
I can do that.
Yeah. You're in, shoot a little bit.
Get on out.
You're back. Yeah. You're back at wherever the house, cabin.
That. Yeah. As long as it's not.
And
yeah.
you can have something warm, to drink, and you can have some bacon and deer sausage on the grill.
How early is it?
I think you're out there by 5. Yeah, you can get.
You're out there by 5. Let's say you
like
stay up
in the duck
night.
blind,
Yeah, you stay
ready
up
to
the night
roll.
before, right? You got to play through.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, we can do that.
You got to get in on a gator,
Right.
drive a little bit, and they'll put you in a duck blind. This will be great. We've got to do this. You got to YouTube the whole thing.
I mean, I would.
God, that'd
I
probably
would do that.
break our YouTube channel.
That actually is okay. I can imagine myself doing that.
By the way, we did well on YouTube yesterday. Search Out of Bounds Sports. We're live right now on our YouTube channel. Search Out of Bounds Sports. But that Tom Luganbill on Jeff Lebby and Lane and Hugh Freeze and Steve Robertson on Lebby and Camario / Chapin, that got drilled on YouTube. And we're just getting, I didn't even get to share it yesterday.
Yeah, no.
So
Dang.
Go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. The SEC Insider Hit this morning is brought to you by Blue Cross, Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. The official healthcare provider of the Out of Bounds show. Blue Cross, Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. They want you to get on your feet 30, 45 minutes a day. They want you to walk, exercise, identify a good diet, all the things that we need. Get sunshine on that body and on that face. But the show is powered by Blue Cross, Blue Shield of Mississippi. Land Rebel says, I'm more nervous about the Egg Bowl than any of our games.
Yep.
Well,
I hear it.
I've got other Ole Miss fans on this text line that are thinking it's blowout city in the Egg Bowl. Resdog says, when does Ole Miss start SEC play? They have had an incredible schedule. Give Lane credit. He took advantage of it.
Heck yeah.
He took advantage. It flips next year. Yep. It gets nasty and naughty and serious for everybody, but for some more than others, depending on the nine game schedule next year.
Jeez.
Holy moly! We were talking about. Now let me get into the Cohen stuff. Let me get in the Cohen because then we're going to lose. We're going to go off the rails on people hooking up with their bosses.
Oh yeah, that's
and then I'll
yeah.
burn the segment.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with.
Sure.
But I mean,
We need to get.
I love talking funny stuff and that, or food and booze. But let's get into Cohen. All right. So Cohen had a press conference. He fired Hugh Freeze. He's fired Joe Moorhead. He had to fire Andy Cannizzaro. He had to fire Ben Hallen. Or I don't know if he had to, but he did. You did get Chris Jan, so that was a good hire. The whole Vic Schaefer thing on the boards is funny. There's about 4 or 5 different stories of what happened between Cohen and Schaefer and all that.
Really?
Schaefer was at the game. Oh, the Texas game. Yeah. I saw him. I said, I was sitting there talking. I don't know if I was talking to my kids or Wendy or Stephen, somebody. Schaefer walks by and I do a double. I'm like, I know that guy. And I'm like, oh, that's Vic Schaefer.
Yeah.
And Remember how Ogeron? Schaefer.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
That was, I don't know if that was in the song or somebody just cut out Brent Schaefer.
It's Brent.
Brent Schaefer. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Ogeron had a quarterback.
Brent Schaefer.
Did he transfer from the University of Tennessee or did he leave Ole Miss eventually? I don't remember. I thought Tennessee was somehow connected. Anyway,
he was.
I saw Big Schaefer at the Texas game. So he's still got his ridiculous farm outside of Starkville that evidently he paid over $3 million for.
Dang.
And put a lot of money in it. Talking about somebody who loves to hunt, Vic Schaefer loves to. A good friend of mine told me this about he was one of the 4 or 5 people that was super close to Vic Schaefer while he was in Starkville.
Yeah.
And he said this, it was so funny. He said, let me tell you he said, Vic is fascinating to me because Vic only knows 3 things. He's obviously been very successful.
Right.
There's a lot of men in this state or in this area that really only know 1 or 2 things, and they've been like, they know their business and hunting.
Yep.
He said, Vic Schaefer knows how to coach basketball. He knows how to grill. And he knows how to hunt.
Huh.
He said, you can't talk to him about anything other than that. You get anywhere outside of that, I got it.
Hey.
I think I was about to have him on or something when he was going to the Final Four. And I was trying to get a little
taste.
Yeah.
Do your research.
I guess that was research.
It is research.
Pretty proud of myself, kind of.
That was prep.
Thank you. I feel good about it. Let's go to the audio. The first one that we want to drop is John Cohen, former baseball coach and AD at Mississippi State, current AD at Auburn, who just fired Hugh Freeze. Cohen talks about how close doesn't matter.
It's been bandied about that we're close, right? I'm not going to say that we're close. Close doesn't matter. Getting it done matters. But I will say that we have an elite defense. I will say that there are a lot of areas of the game in which we excel. But the offensive side has really hurt the production of this football team, and we got to get that fixed. We have to. Now, is it fair to bring up DJ Durkin here and say, hey, fix our offense? No, that's not fair. But what we have done is we have given him the opportunity, especially with our staff and everyone else, to step forward and say, this is going to be your program for the next 3 weeks. Do the things that you feel like need to be done internally for us to be more competitive on both sides of the football. And we have a lot of confidence that can happen.
All right, your audio today is brought to you by RPT Rick's Pro Truck, spray and bedliners, lift kits, 3 locations, ricksprotruck.com. Trucks live here. John Cohen, close doesn't matter. Their offense has been awful. If you thought Kroom and Ogeron was bad,
right,
and it was, and I had to do sports talk radio through it, and let me just tell you, it was painful. If you think those offenses were bad over that, and they overlapped, as you know, as far as their tenure together. Of course, Ole Miss being more driven to win, pulled the plug quicker.
Right.
But they've always wanted to win more in football, which is obvious by what is playing out today. But yeah, I never thought that Hugh Freeze would miss on a quarterback, and his offense would be putrid, and that I would be watching a football game on Saturday night where they could only score 3 points against Kentucky.
Wow.
And I know they're not any good, but the best part of their team, most talented part, is their defense.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting Auburn to score 27, but you got to score more than 3 points.
You got to.
Unless you're playing Sylvester Kroom, and you can beat Tommy Tuberville and score 3 and still win 3-2. But in this game, Kentucky was able to score 10, and Hugh Freeze gets fired and walks away with $15+ million after getting paid whatever he got, $18 million while he's been there. So he did well.
Yeah.
He made well over $30 million. And now we get to see what Auburn does. Somebody said Auburn's not a good job. That's not accurate.
Right.
If you dropped a good coach, Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, Jeff Brom, any number, John Summerall, any number of good coaches there, they can win. They've been undefeated 3 times since 1993.
Wow.
Not many teams can say that. They've been to umpteen SEC championship games. They played for 2 national titles. They won 1. They had a Heisman. You could argue they should have had another one. And, they trip over NFL players, and the Auburn-Opelika area has boomed. And they've become the toughest, if not one of the toughest places to get in the SEC academically. So there's a ton of money down there in Lake Martin, Opelika, Auburn, and they can win. They just got to get the right guy.
Yeah.
If they don't, they won't. If they do, they will. It's that simple.
Yeah, pretty simple.
They got plenty of money, and they have like any SEC fan base, they've built extraordinary wealth the last 40 years in several different sectors and industries. So they can win. This is we wanted to do Kiffin on squirrel hunting. Yeah. So Ole Miss is hosting the Citadel this weekend, and that'll be a snooze fest. But Kiffin wants people to show up, and he's been drilling. He's been talking about this since he got there 2020, and he's gotten on the fan base at times. Obviously, last weekend was packed. It was South Carolina night game, SEC. This is Kiffin on squirrel hunting.
Very small crowd here. I actually asked the question afterwards. I didn't know, so I went into the staff and I asked the hunting thing. I'm like, because I do feel like it's around this time and there's always a game, and I'd be like, man, how come people aren't here? And they're like, I don't know, first day of whitetail or something, wood duck, something. And they were like, Saturday's actually not a first day of something, but they did say this is the first week of squirrel hunting. And I did learn you're allowed 8 a day. Is that right? Yeah. So, very small crowd.
Can you see Lane Kiffin?
By the way, I'm a fan.
Squirrel hunting? No.
How?
No.
How you get him to stay still that long? No way.
No, that's not going to be Lane's deal. I don't even see him going into some plush hunting camp.
I don't see him shooting a gun.
No. I don't think so. Lyle says, so what'd y'all think about Lane on squirrel hunting? I want your thoughts. Golden Moon Casino text line 601-885-3776. Your thoughts on John Cohen? Oh, I didn't drop the booster part on John. Oh, I meant to do that. I totally screwed that up. We got time.
Yeah,
we got 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, you got like 2 more hours after that.
All right, let me hold on. Audio today is brought to you by Southern Ag Credit, financing life outside the city limits. SouthernAgCredit.com. Southern Ag Credit located in Ridgeland. SouthernAgCredit.com. Speaking of hunting camps and farmland, financing life outside the city limits. Powered by Southern Ag Credit. SouthernAgCredit.com. And they got a heck of a team there. This is John Cohen talking about how boosters don't run Auburn.
On 4 coaches in 7 years, obviously you're not responsible for all of them, but for the boosters, the powers that be, are you going to be able to push back against some of those voices and not fall victim to groupthink when it comes to making a decision because it hasn't worked here for a handful of years now?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that question, because that's a little bit of a mystery to me. I've heard all these myths about things like donors at Auburn or board of trustee members or administrators or power brokers in the Auburn family. That has not been my experience in 3 years. Not one time have I had a donor or a board member or anybody else who helps guide this great university come to me and say, you need to hire this person, you need to terminate this person, you need to do this, you need to, certainly you get comments, hey, the hot dogs weren't very, you will get that type of commentary, but that has not been my experience. And I think that's one of those things that might have been created by other schools in the state of Alabama. That myth is not reality. We're in a tough spot right now. We're going to get to the other side of it. We're going to give our fans what they absolutely deserve, but we're not going to live in a world of myths, because what you just described, and I appreciate the question, just doesn't exist.
Whoa.
So John Cohen, athletic
Okay.
director at Auburn, says the idea that the board of trustees or boosters are always pressuring and making decisions is a myth on the Plains in the Auburn, Opelika area. What do you think? Text line 601-885-3776. John Cohen's going to get another crack at it.
Unbelievable.
He hired Hugh Freeze. They are going to allow him to hire another coach.
Yep.
And, I mean, you tell me what you think his grade is. He hired Moorhead and Leach,
Ouch.
Freeze, and, well, I guess it's still open. We'll know in the next few weeks on this next one.
Oh,
this will be his.
yeah.
If I have that right, this will be his fourth football hire. Moorhead, Leach, Freeze, yeah.
Yep.
And then whoever, can they get John Summerall?
No.
Or is Summerall going to end up at Florida or LSU? I don't know. Can they? Well, would Cohen strongly consider James Franklin?
Yeah. It's a safe hire.
They have been their problem the last decade, for the most part, other than Saquon, has been offense.
Yeah.
So he just said, "Hey, we have had an elite defense," and they do.
Yeah.
And Durkin has been amazing all 3 years. And yet they have nothing to show for it because they can't move the football and they're god awful in the red zone. So, and they don't generate explosive, all these things that Freeze did at Ole Miss and Liberty, but they don't generate explosive plays. And if your red zone efficiency is garbage, then you can't win. But can they get it? Look, all it takes, Auburn's just a few players away.
Right. All the time.
My gosh, if you can find which you can, if you can find a QB in the portal, they're winning 8 or 9 games at least. So DJ Durkin is the interim coach.
Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm drunk.
What do you think?
Maybe your fan base would rather lose to Alabama.
Ooh, Bama has to go to Auburn in a couple of weeks. Ooh. Woof, 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 woof. I agree with Terry. Jeff Levy's got to look at hiring DJ Durkin or Ron Roberts or Baker. Yeah, I agree. The Out of Bounds Show is powered by Southern Ag Credit, financing life outside the city limits. SouthernAgCredit.com.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
Is sound warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm drunk.
Well, good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by Kessler Prime in the Renaissance, the Rack of Lamb, escargot. Well, let's just go 12-ounce filet, medium rare, side of crab meat or scallops. Elijah Craig Bourbon is the official bourbon of the show. KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. Elijah Craig Bourbon. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show. 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Mike Detillier will join us at 8:30 on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Couple different ways that you can get in touch with us. We have the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. Twitter X at Bo Bounds. And then the Michelob Ultra caller line, 601-707-3750. College basketball underway, but we're locked into college football. Ole Miss headed to the college football playoff. The question is, how will it look? Where will they be seated? And, you know, do you get a bye? Home game? All kinds of different things going on over the holidays. The heartbreak from last year, you could make up for it this year with a run in the postseason. I mean, Kiffin's only lost 4 games in the last year and a half plus. So, I mean, they lost 3 last year. He's only lost 1 this year. That's incredible. It really is. And they've got an opportunistic offense, but a defense that, while maybe not as dominant last year for college football standards today, is good. And they're well coached. And they've gotten better and better. And they've taken advantage of a schedule. Their best win is at Oklahoma. Yeah. Best wins at Oklahoma. Isn't that fair? Yeah.
I don't know why it wouldn't be right now.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, especially with Oklahoma winning last weekend at Tennessee.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said they were favored that game, right? Oklahoma was over.
Yeah, they were, which was weird.
Odd.
It was 4.5, and I kept thinking it should be Ole Miss laying 3.
3, yeah.
But that in Georgia's the only game.
I think, prior to the year, I believe they were favored. They would have been favored in every game.
They were.
They were, right?
It's just when that line came out,
right.
Timestamp, they weren't.
Huh.
Going into the season, they were favored in every game except Georgia.
Right. Dang, did Mateer and them really put it on like that to where they should have been favored?
Well,
He was injured?
Yeah, he was coming off the finger deal. I don't know how they went to Tennessee and won, but they did. So, my gosh, somebody in Tennessee was talking about firing Heupel.
Nice.
I'm like,
yeah, buddy.
What world are we living in?
Who you going to get?
They just went to the college football playoff last year.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's not like they're bad this year. They're not really good, but they're not bad. And so.
Top 20 ball team.
Yeah. They've won games. They're going to win some more. And somebody was talking about.
What?
Was it Jonathan Compton? Their former QB was like, you're never going to get where you want to go with Heupel.
Wow. I guess the proof isn't in the pudding. He went last year.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
He went to the college. They just got a bad draw. They had to go to Ohio State.
Right.
And we know what Ohio State did in the postseason. We know what Ohio State's capable of.
Right.
Doesn't mean they'll do it, but what they're capable of. I can tell you this. I had not watched that much of Ohio State this year, but now that we're going to have a team in the college football playoff, Ole Miss fans, I would have to believe, are kind of keeping an eye on Ohio State and Oregon and some of the other teams that are going to make it. Ohio State's nasty in the line of scrimmage. Once they really wanted to do what they wanted to do with Penn State, they did it. I mean, they're big.
They are
big and physical.
Yeah.
So here we go. By the way, Bama's hosting we were talking about Mississippi State with a big game in state this weekend because Ole Miss is hosting the Citadel, and that's a yawn fest, snooze fest.
Right.
LSU is going to Bama this weekend, and with an interim coach. I mean, we're trying to set a record for interim coach, right? Arkansas, LSU,
Absolutely.
Auburn, Florida. Who's next?
Who, seriously?
I mean, is Brad White, at Kentucky? If I can't figure out what Mitch Barnhart at Kentucky's going to do, athletic director.
He ain't got a clue.
Mitch has been there forever. He's the veteran of SEC ADs. He's made some rock star hires. He actually got them going in football. Rich Brooks, Joker Phillips, Mark Stoops, for who they are.
Right.
They won 6 games, 7 games every now and then. Creeped up. They took advantage of the East.
Hey.
We know that window from like 2007 to 2020 something,
cool,
where Tennessee was down. Florida lost their way post-Urban. Mark Richt could never get over the hump. South Carolina was a disaster post-Spurrier, and Vanderbilt was god-awful. So they took advantage of that window and won, 6 to 8 games a lot, and kept their fan base engaged enough until Calipari got rolling every year.
Right.
Okay. They have money. Do not kid yourself how much money the University of Kentucky has. Their alumni base, if they want to get serious, can get serious. I mean, they're paying Stoops over $9 million. He's average. Okay. So, I mean, they just like anybody else in the league can pay 12, 13, 14 million. But the question is, what kind of pain are they willing to
endure?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
on the front end in other words, the buyout will be painful.
Right.
And then the upload of 10 a new head coach, 10 new assistants, and dozens of staff. Jeez. Okay, so that flip is huge on the payroll.
Yes. Golly, on top of the pile. Right.
How much pain are you willing to absorb to maybe field a good football team? But Auburn's a good job.
Yeah. Do you agree? I mean, obviously, I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday about how people for some reason, they don't want to be in a head coaching search right now because everyone else is. Is that a thing?
That's a thing that people on message boards come up with.
Yeah.
Because we talk about the same names. Lanning, Lane, Brom, Drink, Summerall, James Franklin.
Yeah.
When there are plenty of other coaches. Until Lebby won the one conference game he's won, you had, first of all, you got a bunch of plants on the board, but you had people on the board that just dream up this narrative of
weak.
We can't get in because everybody else is in. Well, if your AD understands that there is a ton of depth in coaching, there are guys that you've never heard of and I've never heard of that are damn good football coaches that can win in the SEC.
Yes.
It's not just James Franklin, Lane, Lanning, Drink, Brom, and Summerall.
No. God, that is a number. How many of those that you just named will be in the SEC next year?
Well,
80% of them.
That's a good question. Let's monitor that so that when we get into December, let's actually see who that is.
Run the names off one more time.
Well, let me give you lunch today.
There we go.
Okay, it's brought to you by the Ribs at Martin's in Livingston. The blue plate today is ribs at Martin's in Livingston, Martin's downtown. You want to start with a cup of gumbo and then go into those ribs. They started smoking them at 4 a.m. this morning. When I did a remote out there for Michelob Ultra, they had been smoking the ribs forever. Ribs is the blue plate at Martin's in Livingston. Get you some today.
Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm drunk.
We'll have Mike Detillier at 8:30. Mike D, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. LSU has a, you may not know this, but they're going to be looking for a football coach, or they are looking for, I don't know who's looking for it, but they will land a coach at some point. And the Saints are awful. Are they going to end up with the number 1 pick?
No.
Are you serious? What? Why don't you think that the Saints will end up with the number 1 pick?
Because the Saints don't do that. They find a way to screw themselves out of it. They should, but they'll find a way to win like 3 more ball games down the road.
Okay, well, they're 1-8 right now.
Yeah.
And
they'll get 4.
Titans are 1-8, and the Jets are 1-7.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about the number 1 pick in the NFL draft in 2026, will it be a quarterback, an edge rusher, a left tackle?
Out of those teams, it's going to be a quarterback.
Well, you would think so, right?
Yeah.
Saints 1-8, and they've got a little cushion with the Giants by game over there on the NFC side.
Yeah.
Giants are 2-7. And again, the Jets are 1-7. So, how do you feel about it?
The Saints will pick 3rd or 4th.
You could have Haynes King, Fernando Mendoza,
Well,
among others.
you passed on the good one.
You can go
last
get
year.
Arch Manning.
Yeah, we're not
He's
doing that.
he's draft eligible.
Now,
He's coming off his best game as a collegiate player
He is.
Against the Vanderbilt Commodores on Saturday. Arch Manning had his best game.
Yeah, it would be pretty. The New Orleans folk would. I think they would like to see a Manning back in the black and gold.
Okay.
It'd be the jersey would fly. It would. That jersey would sell out so fast.
Merch sales would be crazy.
Would have to be probably going to end up being the best merch sales of a rookie ever, I would assume.
I don't know with that market size. I'd be.
But it's such a faithful market.
It is, but it's just not close to the major metropolitan areas. But possibly.
Is the Manning name not bigger than just that, though? I guess the Saints, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just the Saints are.
Yeah.
They're the 31st market in a 32 market league.
That's right.
I love the market.
Sure.
They draw from a 90+ mile radius, even all the way up here down the Mississippi Gulf Coast, over in Lafayette and so on. But that'd be a tough one. The Golden Moon Casino text line 601-885-3776. 885-3776. Who is this? Oh, Chad just invited you to go deer hunting.
All right, Chad.
And he sent us pictures of his deer, in which he's got big bucks on this.
Big bucks.
Big bucks on.
Well, that's all I'm coming for.
On the pics that he sent.
Well, I don't need
but I
that.
think you're gonna. I don't know what Chad's setup is. If you get to hunt from the cabin or the lodge or the house, or if you have to go out and get after. I'd like for you to go out and have to get in a deer stand for several hours and wait on one of these trophy bucks that Chad sent us on the Golden Moon Casino text line.
Maybe if there was like something that would when it sense the deer, maybe it could vibrate or like poke me, because I'll go to sleep. I'm going right to sleep.
I don't know what could.
There's got to be something.
Possibly.
Got to be.
Possibly.
I'll probably be too loud for all that.
I could see that.
I imagine. I'm not sure. You got to climb up to get up a deer stand, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not climbing anything.
Why?
I'm coming right out.
You're
of that
6'4".
Yeah, I know. I have natural height. Why do I need to climb? I'm not getting up there and falling out of that deer stand.
Well, I don't want you to do that.
Which would happen. I'm really good at that.
Okay.
I've fallen out of multiple trees in my life. I'm not trying to do it.
You're not going to do it?
Nah, I've already.
What about duck hunting?
Yeah, remember last year we talked about duck hunting because I had no idea it was what it was, but they've got these freaking places out in the middle of the in the water. They're just sitting up and they're like little meccas.
Yeah,
they're like huge man caves. Yeah, I'm in.
Okay,
yeah, I can do that.
All right, so you're willing to do?
No doubt.
You're willing to duck hunt from a man cave
for sure
on top of the water.
I can do that.
Or on top.
Yeah, that's fair.
ground.
That's something I can see myself doing.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of. I wouldn't. I don't see myself doing it voluntarily, but with the help of others, yes, sure.
Oh, this guy just sent us a picture of his deer camp cabin. Okay. All right. There we go. You know, if you shoot a deer, you can have it mounted in your living room.
I'm not doing that.
You know, there's nothing like animal art in people's living room.
Jeez.
Right?
Yeah, Mackenzie will love that.
Put it over the fireplace?
Heck yeah, man. Hang that thing. No doubt. And
Come on now.
While I'm at it, put posters everywhere too. She loves those posters.
That would be so awesome
I'd find
if you got a
oh
deer
my gosh.
and then had it mounted and then hung it on your wall.
I'd had it somewhere that would just scare her.
We could
as
put it
much
up here.
possible. No. I want to taint the studio.
You don't want to taint the studio?
No, not with a deer head. They're bad vibes.
Okay.
You never know what you're going to get with one of those things, man. You got to stay away from that energy.
How many times have you walked in someone's living room in their home and they've had...
Here? In Mississippi?
Yeah. That's
all the time.
I know.
I mean, it's literally all the time.
Yeah.
So what are y'all doing?
Well-
Man cave's one thing, right? Like I can.
No, I'm
hear
talking about
that.
in the main living
I
room.
know, man, and they do that.
I know.
And why?
Wes, would you have a deer? Put Wes on the mic. Wes, would you have a deer in your living room?
Absolutely.
No.
That shows what kind of guy
Shows
you
character.
Are. It shows
No.
character. I mean, it shows who.
But no, it shows commitment.
That it does show commitment.
Yeah.
I definitely shows that, whether
Yeah.
for good or bad. I'm not sure, but
Because that's the guy that also wears camo to church. You got to be committed.
Typically, you got. I mean, yeah,
Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
you got to show them. Yeah, AG hits us up on the text line. The animal art goes in the man room. If it's in the living room, man, we got problems.
Okay.
Right? Would Wendy ever go for that?
Hell no.
Not a chance.
No.
Oh
No.
my gosh, that actually would be pretty funny.
What?
I'd like to know, just how long I think that thing would stay up there. I don't think she'd give it 30 seconds.
No.
It's coming down immediately,
Yeah. I'm
and I'm glad.
I mean, I would never want
No,
to put it,
no,
but
no,
if
no.
that was the case, no, it wouldn't be up in our living room.
Oh, that would be funny.
Like a big bear.
Oh,
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Like in
one of the
Roadhouse?
water
Right,
man.
right.
You remember the bear in Roadhouse where the big chubby guy is running around and Patrick Swayze and them eventually win the battle at the boss's house and the big bear falls on the big chubby guy?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. The
What
big chubby guy kind of reminds me of Ready Teddy.
Ready, Teddy.
And when they
Great
pick
guy.
up the bear off of him in Roadhouse, he goes, "Big bear fell on me" or something, and they all started laughing.
Be ready.
But that you could have that bear's like standing up,
Yeah,
stuff
right.
in the house in Roadhouse.
Yeah, that would freak me out.
Yeah, Brad Martin says it's in Brad Wesley's house. Yeah, it was Brad Wesley versus Patrick Swayze.
Ah, yeah.
Dalton. So,
Dude, so if I kill a deer, like I'm out there and I kill one for the first time, do I have to wipe the blood on my face? Is that a thing?
you can, but that's
Oh
not.
no, it's customary.
I mean, if you want to.
I'm not doing that.
Well, you just asked me. I was giving you an out. Now you're arguing with me.
Is it not customary though?
I don't. No, you're asking if everybody.
I'm a fan.
If everybody does it and they don't.
They don't do it.
But some people do.
No.
Yeah.
I'd mount one of those birds. in there.
You need to go hunting with Kendall Collins.
I could do that.
But I want him to get you up at 4
Not happening.
and
Unless it's for ducks.
get you out there early.
I'll do the ducks.
Somebody said, "Bo, I'm not in a deer camp. I'm in a bourbon camp."
That's it.
So in other words, this guy on the text line's in a bourbon and steak camp, and the deer ducks are just bonus.
I feel like that's the majority of camps.
I don't know, man. There's some
They are
guys that are
serious, man.
serious
Yeah.
and mad at it.
True. True.
Well, you could have a stuffed turkey on the wall. Mike Detillier next.
going to lie, I'm drunk.
Good morning. We are the Out of Bounds Show. 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. For your next video wall, for your school, business, whatever industry or sector you are in, your next video wall is powered by Sound and Communication, soundcomav.com. They've got it. They'll sell it to you, and they'll install it. Soundcomav.com. Sound and Communications, the leader in video walls, among other things. Mike Detillier on the show, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D., LSU Saints insider, joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Mike D., which fan base is raising more hell right now on your afternoon drive show on WWL Radio, LSU or Saints?
I would say right now, Saints. I think for LSU fans, it's kind of what's next. Okay, what'll happen next in the process? But the Saints fans, I think it ain't gonna get better anytime soon. This is long term. You have a talent issue across the board, and so I think more Saints fans, because they can read the tea leaves really well. This is just the start of what's going to be a rebuild here for New Orleans.
So, wow, a rebuild after what they've been through the last few years. This is. I mean, can I say that this has been a disaster and looks like it will continue to be for at least another year or so?
I would say it's going to be at least a year. Listen, Superman ain't come and help you. Okay, he's not changing everything, and so you have a major rebuild here. This team has missed on early draft choice after early draft choice, and you paying the price of not being able to hit in the draft, and it's always going to be put on the back of the guy who has said he has the final call on all personnel moves, and that is General Manager Mickey Loomis. He's always said, I have the final call on all personnel moves. Okay, so if you have that power, then now you got to take the blame.
Wow. Okay. But I don't think Miss Benson will ever put enough pressure on him to where he's worried about his job. Do you?
I agree with you. He had basically been installed by Tom Benson, and I think that if you read his will, Tom Benson's will, he basically has put Mickey Loomis as the number 2 guy there. Dennis Lauscher, who handled Mr. Benson's financial affairs, is the number 1 guy in handling affairs financially for both the Pelicans and the Saints. And we're not even going to touch on the Pelicans because they're sorry too. But Mickey's going to leave on his terms. When he wants to retire, he's going to leave. But it's not going to be a firing from Gail Benson. Not going to happen. Saints fans don't want to hear that. I mean, apparently they don't want to hear about the intricacies of the will. They've been hollering about this for 3 years. But, you can talk about it, but it ain't going to happen.
So Mickey Loomis hired Sean Payton, which then got him Drew Brees, and he's going to be able to live off this for a long time. I got to give the man credit. That's a gig everybody wants. It's rare that you're bulletproof as a GM in the NFL. I mean, usually, eventually, you're lifted. Mike Detillier on the Out of Bounds show. All right, LSU. They will be hiring a new football coach in the next few weeks. Who is going to make the hire, Mike D?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Verge Osbury is the guy that he's the one I thought would be given that power to do so. Verge was Scott Woodward's sort of number 2 guy. So Verge has been given the autonomy to vet coaches and to make the hire. And so you're still fairly early in the process here. And knowing about coaching searches throughout my time, you better have a list longer than one or two, because it's rare that you hit on the first guy. I recall this a few years back before they hired Jerry DiNardo. The guy that they had actually an agreement with was Pat Sullivan. Pat, former Heisman Trophy winner at Auburn, was the head coach at TCU. But Pat got into a sticky deal about his buyout to leave TCU to come to LSU. And they never could come up with any sort of agreement, and they ended up with Jerry DiNardo. Then after Coach DiNardo gets fired, it looked as though Mark Ritt was that time the quarterback coach, offensive coordinator at Florida State, would be the new head coach at LSU. And who comes running in at the end? Nick Saban. Through Jimmy Sexton, it comes running in. Coach Saban tells a story about he didn't go to Baton Rouge. He sends his wife, he sends Miss Terry here to look things over. And so I think about just a few years back before they hired Brian Kelly. Was Brian Kelly a name brought up in the process? The answer is no. We heard of Lincoln Riley. We heard of a lot of other names. Brian Kelly comes in right at the end and grabs the job. The one guy throughout this kind of time frame that I thought was the top choice and ended up with it was Les Miles. Because Les, highly successful at Oklahoma State. He was the front runner early when Coach Saban left to go to the NFL, and he ended up getting it. Even Coach O, he was the interim coach at that time, but they were close to a deal with Tom Herman, who at that time was the head coach at University of Houston. They didn't realize that Herman was leveraging them to go to University of Texas. And so Joe Oliva ended up hiring Coach O instead. So you better have a list that's more than a couple, because as we went through this throughout the many years, Bo, it's really, other than Coach Miles, everybody else has not been the top choice.
All right. So Scott Woodward, some people act like he never made a good hire. I mean, he hired Chris Peterson at Washington. He hired Jay Johnson, Kim Mulkey. Brian Kelly at the time was not a bad hire. I mean, he had won at Notre Dame, and while he didn't win enough,
Correct.
I think he went 34-15. It's not like he went 15-34. But boy, you read things around this LSU stuff. What are your? Were you surprised that Landry and whoever else ran him out, or did you know that this was coming for months? Because, Mike, was it really that he wouldn't rehire Will Wade, or was it because both of them were in politics years ago and they got sideways? What happened here?
I think you got it. Listen, this is Louisiana, and there's politics involved in all of this. Scott Woodward went and he got Kim Mulkey from Baylor. Kim was super successful at Baylor, brings her in. They win a national championship. When Coach Paul Maneri had some health issues and decided to walk away, Jay Johnson was at Arizona. Okay? So you think about, he's almost like in baseball's version of Siberia from a Louisiana standpoint, if you're in Arizona. And he made that hire. Jay's won 2 national championships in baseball. I can tell you, other than LSU football, LSU baseball is number 2 on the list here. We get more calls about that than any other subject other than LSU football. Both hires by Scott Woodward. When Petey Bro walked away from the LSU gymnastics team, which, man, it is packed solid if you go try to watch a gymnastics meet at LSU. He elevated Jay Clark. They win a national championship. You're right about Chris Peterson, what he did there. And then, yes, the misfire, so to speak, in that he had played a little footsie with Jimbo Fisher. I really think that was the guy he really wanted to bring in when things didn't work out with Coach O. But Texas A&M decided to give him an extension. But everybody puts that on Scott Woodward. It was not Scott that gave Jimbo the extension, which really turned into an astronomical amount of money. But it was because of pressure, because I think A&M thought Jimbo had really coveted the LSU job. And then, he used it as leverage to get himself a great deal at A&M. But this all comes back down to politics. And Scott Woodward, for a while, did work at LSU. Then he was in politics. He worked for the Democratic Party. He worked for James Carville. And that is the crux of the matter. It didn't I think certainly that phone call came through about, hey, hire Will Wade. Well, Woodward was the one trying to deflect everything because what Will Wade did at LSU, it's legal now. I mean, all of that stuff is all legal, but it wasn't back then. And he wasn't going to rehire Will Wade, and because of Will's personality too. And I do believe it is all have to do with a philosophical difference in how things are done and political. I have no doubt about that. And we had heard a lot of rumors, even back in the summer, that Woodward may not survive this. That's even before people brought up about Brian Kelly, that Scott Woodward might not survive, and he didn't.
So, will some of the powers to be in the state, especially their LSU people, will they tell Governor Landry to stand down because of how important this job is, and that it drives people to Baton Rouge and student recruitment and so on? I mean, how do you see this, Mike?
I think part of this too is the governor tried to fill a vacuum because, remember, they do not have a president at LSU at the present. They will today. There will be an announcement today. It's down to 3. And so there has been no president at LSU. LSU's president before William Tate left to go to Rutgers. And so that opening has been there. It'll be interesting to see how all this is handled. Because we've seen this before. We talked about it last week, man. Louisiana politics and LSU football has been intertwined way before I was born.
Right.
And I'm in my mid-60s. So well before it has been intertwined, and I think it always will be. That is kind of part of the fabric here. They understand LSU football is sort of king here. And you got a lot of football fans, huge football fans. I want the Saints to win, but it ain't priority. LSU football is priority. So,
do you think people have
sort of be there?
Do you think people have told Landry, "Hey, you need to be quiet. You're hurting our cause," Mike?
I'm sure in that sort of manner, very gently, they have told him. Now, again, there a lot of people feel like, hey, we got enough problems in the state. Why are you getting involved with LSU football or LSU athletics? We got a lot of problems here in the state. Why get yourself intertwined in here? Because, Bo, it becomes a no-win situation, no matter what. To be honest with you, you don't win by this. So I'm sure he has been told, or people telling him that, hey, look, let the powers to be handle it. Let the powers to be handle it. This is why I really believe this was much more of a political deal, much more of a political situation with Scott Woodward than it was with anything else. We hadn't heard the governor really kind of go off on this from a sports standpoint. And, man, he hit the bell.
Don't you think he embarrassed himself, Mike? Do you think he embarrassed himself?
I think that's just his personality. I'll be honest with you. It's almost emotion at that point in time. Short term, because, I think maybe years ago you could have said this would have long casting ramifications. But we live in a world where that's a story for 24, 48 hours.
No doubt.
This one a little bit longer. And then, somebody else trumps you, so to speak.
Right.
Somebody else does something else to beat what you did. And I used to work with a guy for many years, Buddy DiLiberto, and he would always say, you can't stay on the front page forever. It's always going to be in page 19 or 25 or whatever. And, it was – I really think it cast a bad look at, man, this is what's happening behind the scenes with this. But it has sort of quelled down over the last few days.
Sure.
And now, since making an appearance on Pat McAfee's show and everything else, that has sort of ended with him. Because every major news outlet would want to have him on, and he sort of has tapped the brake on that. So I think somebody there was, hey, look, Gov, we understand your passion for LSU and for what's happening, but let's back off of this. Let's back off of this now. And sometimes, again, your emotions get the best of you, and we saw it, I think. But that was stirred. To get your emotions stirred up like that, Bo, you understand it's just more than about losing a game. There is something else behind it.
Yeah.
And that's why the political part, which you brought up, excuse me, is, I think, dead on. And we've seen this before. It's sort of like a movie we've seen over and over and over again. And if you've ever watched the old version of All the King's Men, the movie, which was made about Huey Long, you wouldn't have any question about what happened.
So he's a Louisiana Lafayette guy, Governor Landry.
Yeah.
And, obviously LSU runs the show in the state. Is there a big enough booster group for LSU / donor group politically to tell him to go away until they hire a head coach?
Well, I don't think they'd use that term, go away, but I think they would tell him, hey, listen, Gov, we get what you were trying to say with everything, because the money is astronomical, what they're paying for buyouts and everything else.
But it's private money. He acted like it was state money.
Private money.
Yeah.
Now, I do get his point about this. Eventually, and I think this will happen in college football and in college athletics, you can kill the geese that laid the golden egg by continuously going back to, well-placed boosters to pay somebody who's not there. In their own businesses, they're not paying people who aren't affiliated with them. And so this is sort of a new world for him now as governor, because he was the attorney general. But this is sort of a new world that we all living in, where these huge buyouts are being paid, and you're having to go, for the most part, to private donors for money. Well, how many times will you do that before they say, wait a minute, I'm not picking up the tab for that? Somebody else will. I'm not, because in my business, I pay for success. I pay for people who are productive. That guy's not even here. That point that he brought up, I think, is something, Bo, that is correct. That you eventually, if there's a few of them that are paying all the bills, which LSU has one booster, he's out of state, he has really made good in life. I think he's worth about $5 billion. He's going to pick up the tab for Brian Kelly.
Is it Graves that owns Canes?
Nope, it's not.
Okay.
But I will say this, because Graves lives in Louisiana.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but he can afford it. But when does it get to that point, Bo? And I think we like that in athletics, where, hey, wait a minute now. You're asking us to pick up a $40, $50 million tab that you're mistaken, I've got to pay for it? That part of what the governor said, I think for a lot of people rings true. That, man, you know what? We're relying on a lot of these people who have had major success in life, and they're giving back to their school. But when will that breaking point happen? Because now, but we walking on territory that's never been walked upon. When you're talking about that kind of money being laid out, not for a new library, not for a new weight room, not for new facilities, for someone who's not around. Name me another business like that.
Yeah. All right. I got 1 minute, Mike. Do you think Lane Kiffin is in play for the LSU job?
I think if he wants it, he can have it. I think he would be their first choice. The big question mark for me, and I had Coach Ogeron on last week, he was, this is going to be Lane's choice. And, just from reading from what, I know Coach Ogeron and him are pretty good friends, that, hey, he may well decide to stay at Ole Miss. And so I think if he wants the job, it's his. And they'll work out the finances.
Sure.
But the big question mark is, does he want it? Because he may well decide to stay at Ole Miss. If you're asking now, I would say I would lean toward him staying at Ole Miss.
Yeah. Okay. Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Thanks, Mike D. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bo.
The Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, brought to you by Sound and Communications for your next video wall for your business or school. Also, the show is brought to you by Mills Contracting. They have built assisted living facilities, community centers, renovated cabins at Roosevelt State Park, all kinds of event centers, and more. Mills Contracting in Gluckstadt. Call Matt Mills and Mills Contracting with over 35 years of experience today. Mills Contracting for your next commercial project, including assisted living facilities, community centers, and more.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Out of Order.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
All right. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Hope you're doing well. Show is brought to you by Richardson's Barber and Salon in Clinton. Richardson's Barber and Salon. Stylist for men and women. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful salon in Clinton. And they're online, too, where you can book richardsoncuts.com. richardsoncuts.com, Clinton Parkway. And beautiful, beautiful place. 15% discount for Mississippi College students. They do their hairstylist, color. They do everything and anything. All at Richardson's Barber and Salon in Clinton. We're 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. I want to drop the John Cohen audio again about close doesn't matter. Cohen's going to be hiring his fourth football coach if you count his time in Starkville and Auburn. John Cohen's the athletic director at Auburn, and he left in 2022. He left Mississippi State. And then he became the AD at Auburn. His first business there was to hire a football coach. Y'all remember it came down to Freeze and Kiffin, and he hired Hugh Freeze, and the rest is history. They have been bad on offense, so now they're looking for another coach. The Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. Follow us on Twitter, Twitter X at Bo Bounds. And then the Key City Mi Vida beer out of Vicksburg, caller line 601-707-3750. John Cohen was talking about how close doesn't matter.
I know it's been bandied about that we're close, right? I'm not going to say that we're close. Close doesn't matter. Getting it done matters. But I will say that we have an elite defense. I will say that there are a lot of areas of the game in which we excel. But the offensive side has really hurt the production of this football team, and we got to get that fixed. We have to. Now, is it fair to bring up DJ Durkin here and say, hey, fix our offense? No, that's not fair. But what we have done is we have given him the opportunity, especially with our staff and everyone else, to step forward and say, this is going to be your program for the next 3 weeks. Do the things that you feel like need to be done internally for us to be more competitive on both sides of the football. And we have a lot of confidence that can happen.
Okay. So that was John Cohen on where they are and possibly where they're going. Obviously, my text line is full of people who are anti-Cohen, and they don't believe that John is capable of making a good hire. While I agree that Joe Moorhead was a terrible hire, on paper, Hugh Freeze was not. I'm just telling y'all, I mean, it's easy to beat up on everybody in sports, but it's kind of like Scott Woodward at LSU. Brian Kelly was not a bad hire when he hired him. He had won at Notre Dame. Notre Dame had struggled for a long time trying to figure out who they were. I mean, they had been through Charlie Weiss and Ty Willingham and Bob Davie and maybe even someone else. And so you can dislike Brian Kelly, and I don't care either way, right? Just like you don't care who I like and dislike. But on paper, Brian Kelly was a good hire at that time. I mean, it's not like people went, well, he can't coach, he's terrible. That was not the case. He had won, and won pretty big at Notre Dame. When John Cohen hired Hugh Freeze, I mean, you can talk about how some of you think Hugh Freeze is a dirtbag. That's fine. But as far as his track record of being a head coach, he was successful. at that time, that's not what he had done at Liberty. You know, he'd gone through the reboot. He had already been successful at Ole Miss. What he had done at Liberty was considered a success. And then he delivered us Malik Willis. And, you know, hey, he made Malik Willis a better player. Malik Willis made Hugh Freeze a better coach. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, Trinidad Chambliss makes Lane Kiffin better, and Lane Kiffin makes Trinidad Chambliss better.
Yep.
So now John has an opportunity. He just signed a fat new contract. He has an opportunity to now look. John hired Chris Jans. That's not a bad hire.
No, that's a good hire.
Okay. The Mike Leach hire was more than solid. A lot of you don't love it, but Mike won at Texas Tech, Washington State, and Mississippi State. So he was playing uphill the majority of time of his career. He won 59 point whatever. They rounded it up to get him into as they should, into the College Football Hall of Fame. He basically won 60% of his games.
Incredible.
All right. So, and look, you can talk about the misses. Joe Moorhead, Andy Cannizzaro. Although Cannizzaro gave you some talent.
Sure did.
Now, Cohen had put the program in a good spot when he handed it over, right? You had Jake Mangum
he set him up.
and dudes, okay? And then Cannizzaro went and got Tanner Allen, Foscue, Westberg, and some guys. And then, you know, but there was some disruption. I get it. And then Lamonis, that'll always be a back and forth. You know, Lamonis will get a little bit credit for the national championship. He walked into a team that did have talent, and Foscue, Westberg, Mangum, TA, Ethan Small, among others. But also, like, I think this is going to sound crazy, but Jim Ellis said this about Ron Polk 100 years ago. I actually can't believe Jim said it, but I agree. And I'll tie both of them together. Lamonis was really good, I think, with a really talented team. But if he needed to, like a John Cohen as a baseball coach who could take, you know, some talent, but elevate it,
right,
there's a difference.
Yeah.
Jim Ellis always said, you know, Polk's really good with a really talented team. Now, I know some people would say, well, no kidding, Bo, every coach is.
No.
But, you know, you have different coaches like Bill Snyder and Frank Beamer that while they had talent, every year where they took teams and squeezed everything they could out of them. You've got some guys like that in the Midwest in basketball or football, like Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not
He does it every
they're
year.
not going to have the speed and athleticism as the teams around here. However, Iowa plays really good defense, fundamental football. I know they don't really care about offense, but they win games. So my point in all that is I understand look, John Cohen was never popular because he replaced Ron Polk.
Right.
And Ron left the program dead, DOA, and people didn't want to blame Ron, and I get it. And so John got the blame for both. For the cupboard was bare.
Right.
And then it took 2 years to get it up and running. But eventually John drove you to the national championship series.
Yeah.
And drove a ton of players into him. You had gone through a hell of a lull for about 25 years. You had some players, but John's 2000, I don't remember exactly, 2010 to 2017
stretch. Oh my gosh.
Of the players that he and Butch and Lane and Lane Burroughs, not Lane Kiffin,
right.
And some of those guys brought into the program that went to MLB.
So many.
So there we are. But I feel I get my text line. I feel the Cohen
animosity.
Yeah, there is a lot of dislike towards John.
They get their feelings hurt.
No, John's never really been there was I like John.
Yeah, me too.
But I also understand that John's a lot, and he's wired a different way, but he's driven like crazy to win. He's a madman as a coach, a little bit of a madman as an AD, but he is super smart. He's got to make a good hire. He's getting paid $2 million at Auburn. We're live in the Bank Plus studio.
there are some people that responded to me or like, well, Notre Dame to Texas A&M, that's lateral. No, it's not. That's a downward move. It had to be for months.
Woo! Good morning. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. Got Straight Funk with me. Wes is joining us. We got a relief pitcher that we're getting up and running, so we're excited about that. And I have a text on the Golden Moon Casino text line, and it is from Paramedic J. With 4 current open SEC coaching positions and the rumored potential of 6, Kentucky and Texas. Interesting. He's throwing Sark in there, I guess, because of the NFL. What is the realistic expectation for each coach to survive past their first contract? Everyone can't win the SEC championship and make the playoffs. Without instant and sustained success, there's no more chance for tenured coaches. Okay, let's unpack that for a second. First of all, everybody can make the playoff now. You're right. Making the SEC championship game is extremely difficult because you got to finish in the top 2. But you feel like the playoff's going to take, it took 3 last year. You feel like we're going to get 4 in this year. I sure do. We'll see how it trends. There's a lot of football left to be played. But Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, and A&M look good, okay? They look good right now. Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, and A&M look good. And don't forget, A&M and Bama haven't lost a conference game, okay? And Ole Miss and Georgia have only lost 1. But to be undefeated in this conference when it turns cold and it's in November, not easy. I think we forget that Bama's loss is Florida State. It's not a conference game. Right now, if we ended the season today, as y'all know, it's Bama A&M in the SEC championship game. So now that could change, but I'm just going for where we are today. And so it's a good question. Look, y'all, if Texas opens up, you better hold on to your boxers. Because if y'all think we're going Mach 1, Mach 2 right now, Mach 3, and we are with LSU and Florida and Penn State and Auburn and and don't think that Auburn and Arkansas don't have a running ton of money. Just because they're not LSU or Florida does not mean that these 2 schools, when they want to go, they got tons and tons of money. It just depends on who wants to get in and get after it. But look, if Sark goes to the NFL, all bets are off. That is an unbelievable job. Now, they haven't won the majority of my lifetime since Darrell Royal. Now, Mac Brown bottled a few years, and he did win a title over Southern Cal. And he played for another one against Bama, and his quarterback was knocked out in the first quarter. But that is what it is. That happens. Injuries happen. Sark has actually been to the college football playoff the last couple of years.
Crazy.
If Sark wants to go to the NFL, and look, man, here's the thing that I talk to people in our business. Once you get a taste of the NFL,
it's a wrap.
It's the deal, man. It's the Ritz-Carlton. As much as I love college football, and it's like really nice Marriott Bonvoys, dude, Sark,
it's the league
to the NFL.
Yeah.
If he can do it,
there you go.
That would not surprise me because you get paid $15+ million. You don't have to recruit.
There you go.
And don't worry, you still have to recruit in the portal.
Right.
And you still need to sign some high school players. I mean, at least 15 to 20, but some people are doing 20 to 25 and running the numbers a couple of different ways. That's fine. Whatever. I still believe the Georgias, Bamas, Ohio States can dabble in the portal, whereas the other teams, Indiana, Ole Miss, teams like that are going to have to be heavy portal mixed in with some high school. Sark to the NFL, talking about a ripple effect. You already got LSU sitting there and Florida and Penn State, and that could get real weird real fast, starting lifting coaches from other spots,
right?
Which has the domino effect and the trickle up, and we'll see what happens. If Sark takes an NFL job after Black Monday, guys,
wow,
hold on. It will be a 3,000-pound bull.
Yeah.
Because Texas does not care. They don't care. They can do what they want, when they want. They can go give somebody $20 million and tell them we'll spend $40 million on the roster.
Right.
and we won't even. That's one alum. I know all these other schools, including in this state, have alums that can do that, but they have like
a bunch of
alums. So if Sark goes to the NFL, watch out.
The ripple.
I get that more and more people are talking about that Sark has always wanted to get back there. And look, man, it's the NFL's the deal.
Yeah.
So why do we talk about Lane towards the NFL?
Oh, I think Lane tried to get in the Raiders. He tried to get in the Raiders in the mix for the Raiders last January. Couldn't do it. Yeah. He obviously knows Mark Davis. I don't know what their relationship was when he was there. He was only there a year and a half. He got fired. Mark was much younger. Lane was much younger. I don't know. He couldn't get. They decided to go, his mentor, Pete Carroll.
Right.
Yeah, Lane. I think Lane would love to coach in the NFL. Dude, the NFL is going for a Lombardi Trophy. I mean, the college football playoff is super cool, and a national title is amazing. The NFL's the NFL.
Yeah, ain't no Lombardi.
All you got to do is look at the numbers, look at the viewers. And college football is on an uptick. It's never been streamed more. It's never been watched more, and that's good for us because we do college football and the NFL. But let me just tell you, if that job opens up, watch out.
Ah, man. That'd be fun, though.
And I don't know where, you're going to have several people get fired in the NFL.
Yeah.
And
oh man, it's gonna be like 7 coaches that are gonna be fired.
And here's, what all those guys know too is that you can turn it around I know you can in college football. We're seeing that some
right
in the NFL. Turn it 1 year.
1 year, baby.
1 year, boom. You can go from 2 wins to 10 wins in the playoffs, and once you make the playoffs,
all bets
a large percentage of those teams can go all the way because of the parity.
Yep. No way around it.
So is Sark looking at this going, man,
screw this.
You want to drop me back in the NFL?
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about the portal.
Ugh.
I don't have to worry about kids' parents.
Man.
I don't worry about because he's still high school recruiting too, which sounds awful.
Yeah, it sounds so
I mean, sitting in a living room, kissing a senior's tail and parents. Yeah.
Dog.
And the handler.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, now, sometimes handler and agent, and a lot of times those guys are slime balls.
Yeah, buddy.
You know what I'm talking
Leave
about.
my friends alone.
Droopy. What am I trying to say? What do they wear?
Baggy sweatpants.
Yeah.
Oh, the bag.
I mean,
yeah,
come
man,
on.
Look, we're stunned. Well, we look good.
You don't. But anyway, baggy shorts nor baggy sweatpants look good.
Great.
So, let's see. Land Rebel says the only job I could see Lane Kiffin taking is the New York Giants because of Dart. Yeah, we mentioned that weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great match.
Dart and Lane, that could be a deal.
Yeah, but that ain't the only one I could see him taking.
Well, there's going to be other job openings. So Sark may can get in on the Titans.
Yeah.
Sark may can get in on the Giants. He may can get, who else is losing?
Are the Jets going to fire?
I mean, the Arizona Cardinals won last night.
He still may be out.
I think Pete's going to get another year with the Raiders. Of course, the Browns always are terrible.
Washington?
No.
I don't think so with Dan Quinn because of what happened to Jaden Daniels and the other guy who got hurt.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to give him an opportunity. Yeah, they are. Dan Quinn's coming back.
Oh yeah, he's back.
I feel for Jaden Daniels.
Now, will Dayball?
I don't think so, Jack. At 1-8, I think they're going to be. I think they're going to move off of him.
Be forced to.
I think. SEC Insider hit next. Good morning to you. Let's reset the show. We are the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And we're brought to you by Fuse.cloud. They'll handle all your IT for you so that you don't have to build or pay an IT team within your company. Fuse.cloud. Fuse.cloud. F-U-S-E. They'll manage all of your IT for small and medium-sized businesses, powered by Fuse.cloud, F-U-S-E. We're 105.9 The Zone, ESPN.
Wolves, Mountain Lions, and Bears.
And that would be nuts if Texas opens. You think it's crazy right now, and it's only going to get crazier because we don't know what LSU, Florida, and Penn State are going to do, which then we don't know how that sets how many more jobs open depending on what LSU, Florida, and, well, or even Auburn, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, and UCLA. But so it's all of them, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know where they're going to pick from, which opens up, this and that. I'm happy for Southern Miss fans, but Charles Huff rips off another couple of dubs, and he could be in for whatever shuffles up or down. I mean, can he get in the Oklahoma State gig? I don't know, but he's done an amazing job. If he ends up with 8 wins compared to 1 win last year, what do you think an athletic director is sitting there looking at as they're looking at who they can actually get, who's realistic, and who has head coaching experience, who's won a conference championship?
Right.
Huff did at Marshall. Who's proven that he can work the portal with a very, very limited budget?
Right.
At both Marshall and Southern Miss.
Man.
And has he proven that he can walk in somewhere that won X Games, and then he walked in and now they've won however many?
Sign him up.
Right. He could win 8 times more games this year or 9.
More. I'm telling you, he's double digits this year. I'm sticking with it.
Well,
regardless of what it is, he's done a heck of a job.
He has.
But I really feel like he's going double digits.
Southern Miss plays at Arkansas State, who is not bad at all this year, this week. And so that's not a gimme. It's at Arkansas State, and they've got a pretty damn good team. So Huff's going to have his hands full this weekend, but they are favored
count
by 4.
Nice.
4.5. Yeah.
He's won 4 straight.
Is that it? Yeah, he lost some. No, it's more than that.
Yeah, Jacksonville State, Georgia Southern, Louisiana, and UL Monroe. That's not easy.
That's okay. What's their record? What's their overall record right now?
6-2.
2.
That's strong.
That other law, yeah, I forgot that other law.
They have 4 more games.
Yeah.
At Arkansas State will be difficult.
Yeah.
Versus Texas State will be difficult. At South Alabama, I don't know. I don't think so. And Troy at home. So if he gets 1 more, that's 7 wins. That's incredible. If he gets 2 more, y'all can do the math.
What did Dillingham do?
He won 1 or 2 and then went to the college football playoff.
Okay, but he won those.
Or maybe 3.
Right, but he was there for those first 1 or 2, right? Like he had the one in whatever it is
I
season.
think he went 2-10 like Levy.
That's right.
And then he went to the college football playoff.
That's right. Okay.
Pretty sure. Dilly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more of that.
Yeah.
Oh, you
plus
want
1
the,
coach
you
up
want the
back.
10,000-foot level of Jimbo Fisher? Is that what you're asking for?
Yes.
He sucks. How's that?
Jimbo Fisher to Auburn?
Wherever he wants to go.
Jimbo Fisher to Oklahoma State? What about a little Virginia Tech?
Why not?
Little Tulane?
He wants to come back here, though, right? He wants to go to SEC, yeah? Of course.
Okay. Can he kind of looks like a hog.
Oh,
he could pass for
wreck.
He's thick, and because he talks like an auctioneer.
Very hog-like.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
How about this?
I can buy that.
How about this?
We ain't going nowhere.
I mean, that's Arkansas.
Dude.
Clown acts.
Okay, ready?
It's really despicable.
All right, one more.
A guy named Sliced Bread.
I mean, that twang and the fact that he talks so fast. I mean, he talks like he would be the most successful auctioneer in the state of Arkansas.
Right. Is he a con man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's some there.
Yeah, I mean, look at the money.
Well, he didn't.
Well, he didn't.
They gave it to him.
Yeah. It's true. Is his agent Sexton?
Yeah.
We ain't going nowhere.
That's what Jimbo's saying.
We ain't going nowhere.
He wants to coach. Eddie O wants to coach.
Heck yeah.
And Gruden wants to coach.
Sign him up. Inevitably, one of them they're going to get a job, right? One of them will have a job.
You would think one of the three.
Minimum one.
Eddie O, Jimbo, Fisher,
one of them's
John
maybe two.
Gruden.
Yeah,
Jackson, you would think one's going to get the job.
Yeah, at least one will find one job, right? Now, it may not be the job. It may not be a really good job, but one of them's going to have a job. And one of them's going to fall flat on their face, whoever it is. Because if they go to a school with lesser,
it's going to be a tough.
Bad. Because they're not.
They're not wired like guys who can take less and elevate and beat people like Mike Leach.
Right. Oh, no.
Frank Beamer.
That's not. Yeah.
The guys that we always talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if any of them could work, it's Eddie O. He's the only one that's proven that he can do this. He can take a step back. And he can say, all right, let me hire the right people and let them do it.
Yeah, he did do that and
He caught lightning, but I get that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he at least had the right people in place.
He hired Joe Brady. He kept Dave Aranda and left him alone, even though Ogeron's specialty is the defensive side of the football.
Left him alone.
And he hired Joe Brady, give him credit, and they won it. And then he replaced Dave Aranda with Bo Pelini, and it was a disaster.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah.
Why did Aranda still at Baylor? Yeah.
Aranda went to Baylor. So
he's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won enough last year for him to
right.
hang around, which was kind of cool to see.
I like Aranda.
Yeah, I mean, nobody cares about Baylor football, so I think if you can just win a little bit, you're fine. I mean, they went through that run with Art Briles.
Right, heater.
But that's because Art's a freak of a coach.
Yeah.
Let's see what Baylor is. They're 5-4.
Okay.
3-3 in the Big 12, so he's back.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Barring
something
crazy. Somebody asked me how Arizona State's done this year. They're 6-3, 4-2 in the conference. So no college football playoff, but they're winning more than they've won the last 20 years with Dillingham.
Yeah.
What about Mike Norvell at Florida State? I mean, what are we going to do about that
when
guy?
he gets fired?
He's got to win 2 more games to be bowl eligible.
He ain't winning them.
NC State, Florida.
Yeah.
He's got Virginia Tech.
He gone.
All right, let me see. Florida State's 4-4 and 1-4
in conference.
In conference, like Wes said. Yeah. Yeah. Golly. That's
gone.
What is Virginia doing?
They don't know.
Well, they were awful.
They have no idea what's going on there.
Well, I know they don't. The people there on campus don't have any idea that they have a football team. I recognize that. My point was, who is this dude? This is Chad Morris's kid, and he was at, oh my God, he's been at 19 places. All right, so he was at Oklahoma for a year. Then he was with TCU for 3 seasons. Then he was at North Texas for a year. And now he's at Virginia for a year. He's got to be 24, 25 years old. That's impressive. So Chad Morris's, isn't that what Lugan Bill told us yesterday?
It was.
Chad Morris's son is burning it up at Virginia.
How about that?
With over 2,000 yards, throwing the ball. And maybe he runs it a little bit too.
Sling that thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what you did at Mount Salus.
Dang
so,
right, yeah. I mean,
what are we doing?
I don't know what that completion percentage was, but it was high.
Yeah, he does run it. So, I mean, he's got over 200 yards rushing.
Let's go.
48 rushes, 4 yards plus per carry. So he may not be like a huge threat, but he's a threat enough to, I can't believe Virginia's undefeated.
Are they? Whoa.
In
conference.
Yeah, in conference play.
I say, whoa. Wait, even then, though, whoa.
Well, I mean.
Well, you play them cupcakes
they
like
were
freaking Clemson,
firing
man.
Tony Elliott.
Yeah, they were.
He's 8-1.
Wow.
They don't even know they have a football team.
Wow.
I mean, they're about
he's 8
liberal arts degrees and all sorts of things.
What happened? So did they catch somebody out there? They got somebody really good in the portal? Because that's not right. Tony Elliott shouldn't be doing that. He ain't no good.
Whoa.
Comment. Him and Dabo. That Dabo tree, man.
You're out of control. Hey, the Out of Bounds show on ESPN 105.9 The Zone is brought to you by the Bagley College of Engineering on the campus of Mississippi State. And the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in the Bagley College of Engineering offers new bachelor's and master's degrees in AI. The bachelor's degree in AI, which started in fall of 2024, was the first in the SEC. All right, they also have a BS in cybersecurity, and they have seen tremendous enrollment growth over the last 3 years in their cybersecurity degree at the Bagley College of Engineering on the campus of Mississippi State. Students are supported by various national scholarship programs, such as the National Science Foundation, Cyber Corps, Scholarship for Service in the Department of Defense Cyber Service Academy, all while pursuing your cybersecurity degree in the Bagley College of Engineering. Also, they have the ID Lab, and that stands for Innovation, Design, and Engineering Education Laboratory. In the Michael W. Hall School of Mechanical Engineering brings industry and government partners and state-of-the-art equipment to campus, which is unbelievable. Bagley graduates have a 94% success rate in post-graduation placement. So, biomedical engineering, biochemical engineering, nuclear engineering, the Bagley College of Engineering. And you want to go to bagley.msstate.edu, bagley.msstate.edu, and go ahead and book your tour today of the Bagley College of Engineering on the campus of Mississippi State University, whether you want to be a nuclear engineer or a chemical engineer or anything in between. And I mentioned the AI and cybersecurity, all powered by Mississippi State University and the Bagley College of Engineering. All right, Out of Bounds 105.9 The Zone, ESPN.
I'll believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
You think he still loves it?
No, never did.
I mean, they're paying him over $15 million. They gave him $18 million prior to the firing.
Yeah.
Pretty good deal.
Sweet deal.
You think it worked out for Freeze? 30-something million? He had to cancel his tea time on Sunday. I guess y'all saw that.
Oh, is that real? Did it really?
So he had a tea time.
That's funny.
And that got removed Sunday morning. The Auburn media was all over it.
I'm sure.
Now they're posting articles about how he was addicted to, not what you're thinking, golf.
Nice.
It sounds like nonsense to me. I mean, I get that Freeze is a scratch golfer. I mean, he played a ton of golf when he was at Old. He loved, whenever he had any time, he was at Old Waverly. And that's another one.
What?
That's another guy who could land a G5
Huey,
job.
baby? Yeah, he may not have to go that low. I don't know.
Well,
why he'd have
yeah,
to go
if
that
you're
low.
Oklahoma State.
Why wouldn't you go get Hugh?
Proven guy.
Yeah. Ain't no way I'd pass him up.
Oklahoma State. That type program.
Oh.
Not sure if Hugh would go out to UCLA just because I kind of consider him a Midwest and over type guy.
No way he go left.
You know, I mean, he is as meat and taters as meat and taters, which was funny. He is.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Tulane, Virginia Tech.
Tulane.
Yeah, that would be a good one right there.
Does he jump back in or does he play golf for a year?
Yeah, he may play golf for a year. That may. I mean,
I'm sure he's got an awesome place down in Auburn, Opelika, Lake Martin,
yeah,
whatever.
Sure.
He's got all his kids down. No, I think both his girls are one of the two. He's got grandkids now. Things start to change, but he's also young.
Yeah.
I mean, he's mid-50s.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Hugh just wants to fish and golf.
No.
There are some people that want to get to that point real quick and don't ever want to work again. You got guys like Jimbo's got all the money in the world. Eddie-O's got a lot of money, and John Gruden's got a lot of money. And they're chomping at the bit to get back in. What do you do with Hugh Freeze?
Give him a lifetime contract. I want him.
All right, speaking of awesome, Underdog is awesome. Underdog. You can make picks and win money right now in Mississippi. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at Warriors and Suns, and I'm selecting Steph Curry for higher than 29.5 points plus rebounds, and James Harden for higher than 12.5 rebounds plus assists. Download the app today. Use promo code Out of Bounds to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Out of Bounds. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 and older and present in Mississippi. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Underdog, baby. That is the play.
It's the move.
Download the Underdog app today. Jump in, have some fun. Underdog, make picks, win money. Promo code Out of Bounds.
Send us the winners.
Huh?
Send us the winners.
Send us some winners on the text
I'm trying
line.
to see if you're winning or not. Because, I mean, people say they do, and obviously they don't. But, I mean, we've had one guy win. We had multiple.
We had several guys that have won on the Underdog app.
Big time.
I'm good, Bo Bow.
Whoa. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Sun Devil Macy, freeze factor drop would be timely today. Jackson won't find it for me. I had it for years.
You had it over here?
Yeah. Yeah, we had it over here.
Okay.
Yeah, we played it.
I can't remember. Okay, all right, I'll look for it again.
Clown axe.
Freeze, if he wants to, he absolutely will get a job. Now, I don't know what level, I don't know what job, but he will absolutely get a job if he wants a job. Because an athletic director will look at it and go, okay, he won at G5 level and the P4 level. I'm going to give it a ride.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where that lands, and there's going to be more jobs open up because guys are going to leave jobs, which is going to open up even more.
Right.
And like we've talked about, if all bets are off if Sark leaves Texas January 1. We'll go through a cycle, and then you could have another wild cycle because the Miami Dolphins, Titans, and Giants sure as hell look like they're going to open up, and we'll kind of see from there what else happens. Dolphins, Titans, Giants. Dolphins, Titans, Giants. You got sunny South Florida.
That's crazy.
But see, any NFL job's good.
Yeah.
You can win. If you're good at what you do, you can win.
Yep, period.
Any job. They have an enormous amount of money. They're all billion-dollar entities. You don't want for anything. Dolphins, Titans, Giants. Maybe one more. The Commanders aren't going to make a move. Dan Quinn did a great job last year. And losing Jaden Daniels, and I can't remember the other stud, just a brutal deal for the command, and a hell of a deal for the Eagles.
Right.
I mean, the Cowboys are a disaster. The Commanders, because of injuries, are where they are.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at this. You're in the NFC East, and the Eagles are like, man, thank you to the Cowboys. Now, the Commanders had some bad luck, and then the Giants. Now, the Commanders weren't playing as well even before Jaden went down. But my point in all this is you're in the NFC East, and the Eagles are like, this is great.
Right.
The Cowboys are a running mess. The Commanders sustained some brutal injuries, and the Giants haven't been able to find their way. And then the NFC North's just a bunch of bunched up teams with only one game apart.
Cincy's going to fire their coach.
Yeah. He gone.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll have Burrow and Chase to go work with.
Well, see, that's going to be appetizing for offensive
Sark,
coordinators in the NFL or someone like Sark.
Yeah.
You just nailed it. Walking into Burrow, Chase, and Jefferson. I mean, I'm sorry.
Burrow, Chase.
T. Higgins. That was at LSU.
Yes.
Sorry.
But T is phenomenal.
Chase and T.
T has been great this
is
year.
what I meant. is what I meant.
Yeah, they that is very. If I was walking into one of them, I'd walk in there.
Yeah,
unless they're dumb enough in Buffalo to fire McDermott.
That would be stupid.
It is on the table.
Well, then they want to wake up and go 6 and
I feel
12.
you. I agree.
I mean, the Bills are 6 and 2. By the way, Mike Vrabel.
He's a man.
I've been talking about it for years on this show.
I love him.
Mike Vrabel at the Patriots, who was at the Titans, and they did some dumb stuff.
Yeah, they screwed him
in the front office. Mike Vrabel. I mean, he won with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, that dude's a boss.
Okay. Mike Vrabel can coach. Do you realize that the Patriots are 7 and 2?
Yeah. Yes.
Watch out, y'all.
And who's leading the helm?
Drake May.
Drake May.
From North Carolina.
Coming on out.
Yeah.
Boy's had a heck of a year.
Yeah. And the Colts are 7 and 2, which is crazy with Daniel Jones.
That'll fall.
And then the Broncos and Sean Payton. All Sean does is what? Win. I'm Sean Payton and I win. That's what he says when he's at dinner. Kind of like Kurt Signetti. Google me. Sean Payton just says, I win.
You think
now let's order the tomahawk ribeye and a good Elijah Craig toasted barrel, and let's have a good dinner.
You think he's required to bring his resume to a job interview?
No.
Yeah. I could bring a ring.
He could bring a ring.
Yeah.
And that's from New Orleans.
Right.
That says something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, that's better than a resume.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you just put the Super Bowl New Orleans ring out on the table.
Yeah, I would love to know. I mean, obviously they don't have it like a regular job has, like interviews, stuff like that. But it'd be kind of cool to see if they had like an open house, like everybody come apply for this job and let's see who the best candidates are.
Yeah,
at an NFL team. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of candidates for lunch today, let's go with Taste Italian Kitchen, and let's go with the world famous meatball. They've got unbelievable sandwiches there. I mean, fresh ingredients. Craig and the team went up to New York and Philly 8 or 9 times and ate at some of the best sandwich places in Philadelphia and New York. And they picked what they liked. And then I was just lucky enough to just sit down and try sandwiches with them. But they've got great lunch special sandwiches. Pair it with a Caesar, whatever you want to do, some fries. TasteItalianKitchen.com to make a reservation. Thanks for listening to the show. If you missed anything, it's on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. And don't forget to download the Underdog Fantasy app. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. We're also brought to you by the Men's Clinic in Madison and Brandon. If you're low energy, low testosterone, call the Men's Clinic in Madison or Brandon today. Or go online, themanthing.com. Dr. Mike Manning and Dr. Cliff Adams will take care of you.